One thing I wanted to ask you about was your experience with TEDx.
Yes.
Oh,
It was
tell me.
amazing. It was everything that I had wanted it to be.
Welcome to the Visibility Room, on air and off script. Hey, everybody. It's Karyl Morris from the Image Impact Group and the Visibility Room, on air and off script. And today I'm really excited because we have Army veteran and speaker aficionado, Lorrena Black, with us. Lorrena, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for you to just kind of give a quick synopsis of who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
Yeah, so I start with saying I'm an imposter, that word, imposter interrupter.
There you go.
So as a keynote speaker and workshop presenter, I interrupt the idea of imposter syndrome so women and veterans can go after those roles, those promotions, anything that the self-doubt's been telling them that they can't with audacity.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that. And as I mentioned, you are an Army veteran.
I am.
So how does this play into what you're doing?
Yeah, so I spent 25 years in the Army, 21 of those years on active duty, and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I grew a lot, and I carried self-doubt with me everywhere I went, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so now I try to take just the stories from my time in the military, my life, and I use those to hit different points home on how we can put imposter syndrome in the backseat or get past this idea or that voice in our head.
Yeah, I love that. All right, we're going to dig in a little bit further on that, but I want to ask her a quick couple questions.
Yeah.
All right. What first impression do you want others to have of you?
Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is compassion. I want people to know that I am compassionate, that I genuinely care about empowering and building other people up.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And what's your favorite way to connect? Are you a in-person person or do you like digital?
I like in person. I love that digital gives us an opportunity to connect across distances, but there's just something magical about being in person with someone.
Yes, I totally agree. All right. What builds credibility faster? Expertise, presence, or consistency?
I would say consistency because credibility is good, presence is good, but if you're spotty on them, you lose trust.
Yeah,
really fast.
absolutely. And speaking of trust, what's the biggest trust killer that you've seen?
So for me, it's a lack of integrity. Like if you say one thing and you do another and you're not honest, you can
forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Okay, last one. What leadership lesson has stuck with you?
Ooh. Stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
Because in the world, and there's so much around us, you can get really caught up with trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you think that they've got it figured out. Or it's great to emulate people, especially the ones that are doing it right, but just still always come back to just recentering in who you are.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me to what you do, right? That recentering and staying to who you are so that you can get over the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's kind of your core, right? That's one of the beliefs that you have.
I do.
So talk a little bit more about imposter syndrome, if you would. And when did you realize that it was in your life and what shifted?
Yeah, I think it had always been there. I just didn't know that it was called imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I know that people have different thoughts and views on, imposter syndrome, but I know that whatever you want to call it, the voice that gets in your head that holds you back from going after things. I think for me, it's always been there. But one of the things that I realized about myself is I haven't let it hold me back as much as I thought that I did, because I still would try. I'd still go after it. I'd still reach for it and try. But it's always there, just kind of nagging me, shrinking me a little bit at times and things like that. And I just kind of try to set it down and still, okay, I hear you, but I'm going to actually ignore you this time.
Right.
And I am going to apply for that job or whatever.
So going back to the military, talk about a boys club, right?
Yes.
Traditionally, did you feel like it was rearing its head there?
Oh, 100%. And my career was a little different. Well, not different. I started as an enlisted soldier, 18 years old, private E1.
Yeah.
It just shocked everybody. And I was an admin soldier. And then I worked my way up through that. I figured that out. And at the 12-year mark, I got accepted to a program called Green to Gold, active duty option program, where I was released from active duty, but still on it.
Okay.
To go to school for 2 years, finish my bachelor's degree. And so then now I'm around a bunch of younger people. I'm 30 something at this point. I have 2 kids, I'm married, and I switch jobs completely. And I go into the Signal Corps communications and so much of that stuff was so far over my head. So when I showed up at my first duty station as an officer, I'm a lieutenant and they expect things of me and they see I'm prior service, so they expect even more.
Yeah.
And I don't have any real idea what I'm doing when it comes to communications and IT. And I remember feeling it so heavy then, like any moment they're going to find out I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so for sure.
So it would appear that you developed some skills to get over that hump, because here we sit today. Do you, when you are speaking and facilitating, do you pull from those stories?
I do.
Yeah. And what would you say to your younger self now?
You got this.
Yeah.
Like, you got this. Be quiet, voice in your head. And the truth is lean on, and I learned this, and this is what got me through, is I didn't have to be the smartest person in the room. I didn't have to know it all. I had 50 soldiers.
Yes.
I had to lean on their expertise and their knowledge and not think that, I'm the lieutenant. I have to be all, I'm in charge and I have to know everything.
Right.
No, it's really hard to know everything, and it's okay to not.
Yeah.
And sometimes when imposter syndrome shows up, one of the ways especially is that idea of being the expert. Like, you feel like I have to have more. I have to know more. I have to be the smartest. I have to have all the credentials. We don't.
Yeah. And then what happens is that people do nothing.
Yes. You burn out.
You burn out, you do nothing. And that's one thing that I see a lot in my business is that people prepare and they learn and they train and they prepare some more, and then they do nothing. And a lot of that is because of imposter syndrome. They don't feel like they have deserved that chance to move on, chance to actually be visible.
And I'll make a confession really quick. I still, again, I tell people I talk about it because I work through it daily. But there was something I was applying for, and it had asked for like your credentials. And I was like, I'm going to lean on my friend ChatGPT really quick. And so I go in and I'm like, well, they're asking for this, but I don't know that I've done a lot necessarily in the civilian world. But and the AI, who's just wonderful, was like, Lorrena, like, you've done, and just, I was like, oh yes, I did do that. Okay. So sometimes we need a cheerleader. Like, we don't want to always have to lean on a cheerleader, but you want every now and then somebody to be like, let me remind you who you are while you're over here saying, well, I don't have this and I don't do this. But think about all the things you do have and you do.
Yeah. Have you ever given the prompt, what would you act like you're my drunk best friend?
Oh, no.
And how would you describe me?
Oh, no, but I'm doing that as soon as I get home.
It's pretty entertaining. Let me know what it says. All right. For someone listening who feels stuck or invisible, what is a small way that they can stand out?
I keep wanting to go back to just staying true to who you are.
Yeah.
And instead of, don't compare yourself to other people, because we can get really wrapped up in comparing ourselves to what we think looks really great or what we think we should. Stop shoulding on yourself if you do that. And then also just think about, don't focus on what you don't have or what makes you feel small or invisible, and think about all the really great things that you do have, and how do you show up more and lean into that?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you consider yourself competitive?
I used to deny it, but yes, I am.
So I have that problem as well. Yeah. And I will tell you, when I first started my business, ultra competitive. So I was looking at everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And boy, did I learn fast. I had to shut that noise down because it was getting in my way of doing what I do best, thinking that I should do what they do best.
Yes.
And it just doesn't work. And that is a form of imposter syndrome as well, right? Because you're negating what you're really firm in and really great at because you think somebody else is much better and much more value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh. What's one random fact about you? We're switching gears.
This is super random. and it's almost like, who cares? But I really love oysters.
Oh.
When I was like younger, Lorena, absolutely not. Don't come anywhere near me with that. But my husband kind of eased me into it, and I really do. So that's random.
That's
also,
hilarious.
I'll share that I'm in an improv class.
Yeah.
And I went through 4 Saturdays to learn improv.
Oh,
and
wow.
actually tonight is my improv debut.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
I'm very excited about it, but I'm terrible at puns.
Okay.
But
You want to try something else?
oh my gosh.
Can we get a 2-minute? You're like, no, we cannot.
Sure. I mean, I have to lean into it, right?
So what do they do? So they give you a topic and you just have to.
So what'll happen is it's audience participation.
Yeah.
So the person running it might say, okay, we're going to do this at game. And I can't remember what the pun game is called, but
Okay.
I like my friends, I like my men, or I like my women.
Yeah.
Like. And so it's like, they'll throw out, like the audience will say, the movies. And so I get up and I'm like, I like my man, like I like the movies. Start, and it's so awkward for me. And I feel, especially when it comes, we had to do pickup line ones, and I am, oh my gosh, no. It's like, hey, you must be like a refrigerator because you've been running through my mind all day. It's awful. I'm terrible at the puns. But the other stuff when you do like scenes or characters where the audience is like, you're a beauty queen and you're applying for Miss America.
Yeah.
Then you have to get up and act that out.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
That's my sweet spot.
Oh, she's
I'm
like,
oh yeah,
I
let me
can
put on
strut.
I'll do that. But the puns, it's a very awkward version
Oh my gosh,
of Lorrena.
that's hilarious. What made you decide that this was going to be part of your journey?
So funny story, when I was younger, before I ended up in the Army, I really thought I was going to be an actress.
Okay.
So I took drama in high school and I always really enjoyed it. And for years, I've heard people talk about improv, and especially as I got into speaking, people would talk about, improv is really great for speakers because it teaches you to, just the things, to be on the stage. And one of the women that was on TEDx Detroit with me, it was running a class, Improv 101, and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, you ready for some improv?
All right.
All right, here we go. I got to switch hands here. All right, so some of these questions are a little off script.
Okay.
Some of them might be a little Detroit-centric, and
All
some
right.
of them are just, I don't know, let's just get deep.
Okay.
And I probably will have to read it because my writing is chicken scratch.
All right.
So, ooh, I like this one. What is a skill you've underestimated that now sets you apart? Improv.
Improv. Honestly, I think my authenticity. Like, I am a little bit goofy. I can be a little bit awkward, but the more I lean into just being me,
Yeah.
the more that's the feedback I get when after I come off of a stage or after I do a presentation, I felt like you were talking to me. And that's just
Yes.
me being me.
Yes.
I stopped trying to even for a moment think that I needed to be any other version.
Right. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's do another one. All right. Ooh, a hill you'll die on.
Oh. I mean, I think anything when it comes to my children, like I don't know if I'm understanding the question right, but like when it comes to my kids, like I'll do that one or I'll die on that hill. But I think you mean more like a
thought like a belief.
I feel very strong
Yeah.
on this. I mean, I get probably my faith. Like I'm very strong in my faith.
Yeah. I love that. I just learned that
Yeah.
also when you walked in, you were sharing with us that you are doing a fast.
Yes.
And how's it going?
I'm on, what day is today? I think it's Wednesday. So this is day 3. And this week is basically Daniel fast.
Okay.
So I'm basically a vegan. And then we do a prayer call in the morning at 6:30 and then a prayer in the evening. And it's just getting rid of all social media except for what you need for work. No TV, no like secular music, just anything. I took the games. So I'm not playing my little games on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, just staying focused on that.
Have you done this before?
I have. So we do it every year in January through my
Okay.
church. And so this is probably the 3rd or 4th year. And each year it looks a little different. Like sometimes it's been a liquid fast or this one's called the progressive fast. So this week we're doing regular Daniel fast. Next week we go into Daniel fast 1 meal a day. And then by the end of the week, there's like 2.5 days of water only.
Oh my gosh. And you were saying, I am going to sit in a chair and nobody talk to me.
Yes, I don't want to expel any additional energy. I'm just going to sit here and drink my water.
Thank goodness I didn't pick one of the days for, you know, She's on the I sit and say nothing fast here on the podcast.
Yeah, that might have
It's
been
just
awkward.
nothing. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see what else we can get. All right. Let's see what we have. Ooh. What's something that outsiders, people that are outside of Detroit Metro, let's even do a Michigan, what do people miss about our great city and our great state?
Miss as far as don't know.
Yeah, what do they not know about us?
Yeah, this is easy because I'm a transplant and I know people who just have these ideas about like it is a beautiful city with so much culture and diversity and amazing people. And I think people who don't live here have this idea that they're going to walk into Detroit and it's going to be on fire or something, you know, and it's like, no, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is such a beautiful place.
And we've become foodies talking about food on your fast. I hate to bring that up.
No, it's okay. I love food.
But we have become a city of unbelievable food and unbelievable options for that. And here's something that people don't know. And I thought this was really funny. I had a client come in from New York and we, we are right down from the river, from the Detroit River, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Detroit. So literally, I'm probably 2 or 3 blocks from the river, and we went down to a little bar and sat outside to just have a drink. And she looked across and she said, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Well, that's Canada." And she flipped out. She had no idea that Canada was that close to us, which, is another thing that people miss all the time, that we're international.
It's a really cool city. What's crazy is I grew up in Washington State that borders Canada, like Vancouver, BC. And then I moved to Michigan that borders Canada. And it probably wasn't until last April, the first time I ever went to Canada.
Oh, really?
I didn't go, as a young person growing up. Wow. And then even the first several years of living here, I never went. And then now I've been officially 3 times.
Okay. And just over to Windsor, or have you traveled?
I actually flew. The first time I flew to Vancouver from here. And then the second time we drove through Windsor to a little small town and did like an Airbnb thing. Yeah. And then I took my daughter to Windsor on her 19th birthday to have brunch over there.
Oh, very fun. Brunch, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe mildly busy.
That's what we're keeping to. Brunch. Yeah. Tell me, what's kind of the day in the life of you? When it comes to your work, because as a speaker, and I know I'm shifting gears here, but I think people don't understand what it takes to be a speaker. There's business behind it and a lot of prep.
Yeah. So if I think about just the day, I've really leaned into working out again. So I actually have been getting up at 4:15 every morning, and I go to a kickboxing class in Novi at Fit Theorem, which is amazing. And then I come home, I do my prayer, I try to, just get myself settled for the day. But there is, when I think about like the work, sometimes it's working on writing, working on the talk, or making the talk better, or applying to different talks, looking for talks, staying on top of social media, is trying to stay visible, is just, working through all of that, because it isn't just, okay, I show up on the stage one day.
Right. Exactly.
There's the process to it. Yeah.
And people don't understand how many hours go into a presentation. And I always think it's funny when people ask you to speak for free. Oh, it's an opportunity. It is probably a week's worth of work.
And whether I'm speaking for, I don't speak for free anymore, I waive my fee. Whether I'm waiving my fee or I am getting, paid my fee, I put the same level of work into it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to show up like half-heartedly, just because I'm like, well, they didn't pay me anything. And I do believe, and I've found this since I've started, every opportunity has been an opportunity. And I have been able to grow my network and meet wonderful people and have really great experiences. But yes, there's a lot of work that went into the presentation beforehand, for sure.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was your experience with TEDx.
Yes.
Oh,
it was amazing. It was everything that I had wanted it to be. And I had applied to a couple of other TEDx's and was politely, turned down. And I remember when I've been waiting for TEDx Detroit to come out, and I was like, okay, when's it going to be released? And then they did, and there wasn't the call for speakers like they normally do. And I was like, bummer. I was like, that's okay. I'm going to go and attend, because I'd actually never even been to a TEDx at that point. And then when the curator reached out to me and basically was like, if you had 5 minutes to deliver a talk to the world, what would you talk about? And I was like, I'm really glad you asked me that, because I've been thinking about it a lot. And it was important to me. So I'm a non-combat veteran, and sometimes the imposter syndrome gets me there too. And I carry this guilt or feeling of less than and all of that. And it was important for me to talk about that, but also how it relates to anyone that is in a support role.
Right.
Who isn't the one in the spotlight, who isn't kicking down the doors, so to speak. That we are all, our service matters. Our presence matters. What we contribute matters. And I think that I got that across. And the reception from everybody was amazing. And my daughters were there. And my best friend flew in from Alabama. And it was just it couldn't have been a better experience.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. And I love that your kids were able to attend, because I mean, if we are not setting the example for the next generation, what are we doing?
Yeah. For sure.
Oh my gosh. Lorrena, thank you so much for coming and spending this time with me. I love your story. I am always happy to talk to you. You leave me feeling happy and good and positive about what's to come in the day. So thank you for that. And I know that for those of you watching out there, I know that you've got this as well. And we're going to make sure that everybody has all your information so they can follow you and hire you and all the good stuff.
Awesome. I love it.
All right. We will talk to you all another time. Bye-bye.